It's time for another Macks Minute.
Fish on!
Brought to you every week by Macks Lure Company. With us here this week is Bobby Loomis with Macks Lure Company. We're actually broadcasting from the Brewster Pool of the Columbia River. It's in north central Washington, and this is ground zero for the Sockeye bite. We've had a record Sockeye run this year, Bobby, and people are slaying the fish here with a 6-fish limit. How are they doing it?
Everybody's predominantly trolling up here. They're trolling up here off the mouth of the Okanagan up at Brewster, predominantly with downriggers and fishing like a Macks lure Double D Dodger, Macks lure Sockeye Squidder, tipped with coon shrimp, and they're going to fish anywhere from 10 feet down to 35 feet.
Now, these sockeye, they're really tasty fish, but they're not really big. They're light biters, and it's not uncommon to lose a lot of them like we did today. We actually had 12 hookups, ended up with 4 fish in the boat, and that's mainly because of barbless hooks and light bites, isn't it?
Yeah, they were biting very, very light. As you saw, most of those fish were hooked right up, barely up in the front of the mouth, so they're barely biting the stuff, number one, and number two, with the barbless hooks, any type of slack that's thrown in the line, just trying to hand a rod off to somebody, as you saw, we lost a lot of fish.
Well, we weren't the only ones. That was actually the norm up here. So expect to have a lot of hookups, but your hookup to catch ratio might be a little bit lower than you're used to. One other thing I want to talk about here is the distance between the sockeye rig and the flasher. You know, I'm used to seeing like 3 to 4 foot leaders, and that's not what we saw today.
No, this is like kokanee fishing. A kokanee is a landlocked sockeye. They like to have that movement on the bait they are hitting. It's triggering them to do something, so the more movement you've got on that bait, the better off you are. The way you get that movement is by going to a short leader, allowing the dodger to move the bait back and forth.
We are out of time, but one more thing I've got to ask you. How long do you expect this fishery to be hot up here on the upper Columbia River for sockeye?
This fishery will be good all the way up through mid-August.
There you go, folks. It's the upper Columbia River. It's the place to go for sockeye fishing right now. Go ahead and get what you need at your local sporting goods store and at maxlure.com.